Good morning, YouTube. I'm in Dayton, Ohio, and yes, I've covered this topic before in other videos. These red light traffic camera scams. Oh, at the corner of Salem and Hillcrest, they got them at this intersection. So anyway, the cities across the state, especially in Dayton, they're bound and determined to try and get these back. There's these studies that have been released showing all that, that these intersections are more dangerous when the cameras are not active, but there's people across the city who just aren't buying it. They had a news story about this. So I'm going to continue the theme of political discontentment and why we should not trust the motives of politicians, because people clearly do not want these cameras on, but yet you have stupid ass politicians like Nan Whaley and other people on city council whining about it. And then you got the police chief of Dayton, Richard Beale, who's rallying, to get these turned back on as well. And and Mr. Beale, you need to be more concerned about other things. And Dayton, of course, being a sanctuary city, the police chief, Richard Beale, you need to do your job, buddy. Because Dayton has a policy of not questioning the immigration status. Why is it, Mr. Beale, that your department is breaking the fucking law? And yet you're worried about these fucking red light cameras, which people clearly do not want. So once again, one of the themes of what I do in these videos is trying to get people to see through the BS and the motives of politicians and just the utter corruption of what's really, happening. I mean, as I've mentioned before, politicians generally sneak this stuff in, because they sell this stuff under the auspices of safety. They'll tell you, oh, it's going to improve safety. Then several years later, in order to get these damn things removed and shut off, the cases have had to go to court. And the cities across the state, Dayton, Toledo, and a few others, are hoping that the Ohio Supreme Court will rule the law unconstitutional, which hopefully the Supreme Court will have some common sense and realize that these are unlawful. And Nan Whaley and you other pieces of shit, if you really want the cameras on so badly, follow the law and staff these fucking cameras with the police officer. If you want them on so badly because they're unlawful, because they issue tickets and yet there's no police officer present, and yet the BS that we've had to go through to get these motherfuckers turned off, with going to court and other things, is so it's time, more than ever, that we really question the motives of politicians. And when they try and sell us on things like public safety and things like that, stop believing the bullshit, people. Stop believing the lies and start questioning the motives of politicians. So yeah, to the mayor, you utter piece of shit, Nan Whaley, and to the police chief, Richard Beale, you're both pieces of fucking shit. Richard Beale, do your fucking job. Defy the fucking mayor. You are an officer of the law, but yet your department is not following the law by not asking the immigration status of immigrants. You bow down to somebody who's not a law enforcement officer, and yet you fucking want these stupid red light corrupt cameras, which the citizens do not want on. But anyway, YouTube, that's going to be it for this one. So please oppose these cameras and oppose any fucking city official or whoever that wants these on, or your local police chief, because they're no good. That's it for this one.